Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hey, welcome. My name is Dianne, and I am super excited that you found your way here. Okay, before you guys get an attitude, because this is an audio and not a visual, just know I'm feeling a little under the weather. So rather than push this video back until I start to feel better, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead, record this audio and get this out here, okay? I just want to set the record straight about this episode, okay? Because it was a hotassmess.com/gov.org. Just a mess. So let's go ahead, jump right on into this video. This is my recap of the challenge season 32, episode 13. Go ahead, get your cups, and let's get into it.
All of these detours, I cannot be sure if this is the right way, but I stay on pace. Yeah, I'm on my way. Tell them I'm on my way. On my way, on my way, on my way. I'm on my way, on my way. Tell them I'ma get this show.
So this episode starts off inside of the main house. You know, we're just coming back from the challenge. Zach and Amanda have just won. So, of course, they're safe this week and they have the power vote this week, right? So, Amanda is saying that she's ready to start making big moves and she's ready to get Johnny and Tony out of the game. So, Nelson, Zach, and Joss are outside talking. And, you know, Nelson is just asking Zach where his head is in regards to where these votes are going to go. So, then we see Zach's confessional and he's breaking down the sides of the house. On one side, you have Joss and Sylvia, Ashley and Hunter, Nelson and the helmet, and then on the other side you have Tony, Bananas, and then Cara and Marie, and then right in the middle you have me and Jose. No one knows where we lie. We're just kind of like floating in the middle, right? So Nelson is saying that he wants to get Johnny and Tony out of the house. You know, he's like, well, if it were me and I was in your position, I would be trying to throw those votes at Johnny and Tony. That's who I'd be trying to get out. And so Zach is like, hold up, like let me remind you, me and Tony are good. You know, Batman and Robin, think back to vendettas, and so, you know, Nelson is like, yeah, I hear you, but still, if it were me. And then Zach's like, listen, all I'm saying is don't bring the get Tony out of the house talk around me. He made it very clear that he was not trying to be a part of any of those conversations, right? Me, Cara, and Jose are in our room having a conversation, right? And Cara is telling us that we're in a good position in this game because we are the swing vote. We're the mystery vote. We've been floating through this game. No one knows what we're going to do. And me and Jose have really just been taking this thing week by week, okay? So she then goes to say at some point we're going to have to choose a side. And I agree with her because it's starting to get down to the wire and it's time for me and Jose to start making a move and saying, okay, this is where we stand in this house. The time has come, right? So Jose lets her know that it might come sooner than we think because the house is talking about taking out Johnny and Tony. And so Cara's like, yeah, right, because no one wants to go against Johnny and Tony in an elimination. And Jose's like, I beg to differ because that's not what the house is saying. You know, I've heard something else. You know, these challenge streets is talking, okay? The challenge streets are talking and they saying, you know, we're ready to go head up with him and get him up out of this house. So Cara's confessional comes up and she says, it's time for her to start making a move, and that would be for her to align with Johnny and Tony. That's the best thing for her and her team because she's starting to realize that the numbers are not on her side, like they're not in her favor. Realistically, I mean, all they have are Cara, Marie, Bananas, and Tony, and half of Zach and Amanda. That's it. You know, so at this point in the game, it's time to start figuring some shit out. I mean, we're at that point. We're here right now. Later on that night, Johnny, Tony, and Cara are all out having this late night conversation, right? Little powwow, right? And so in this conversation, they start to understand the numbers are not in their favor. The numbers are not on their side. So the best thing for them to do would be to band together, meaning that Johnny and Tony plus Cara and Marie need to take their votes and put them towards one team so that they can have two votes on one team, right? So they decide that that team is going to be Ashley and Hunter. Back at the Redemption house, Cam and Kaylee are upstairs discussing eyebrows. Natalie, Paulie, Brad, and Kyle are all downstairs in the kitchen. Natalie's washing dishes while Paulie, Brad, and Kyle are eating. So Paulie starts to have this moment where he's kind of like reflecting back at the fact that the only reason he's in this damn Redemption house is because of Kyle's jealousy about the relationship between Cara and Paulie. And so he's starting to get a little upset. You know, he's starting to get a little pissed off like, yo, you in here laughing and cracking jokes and shit, and I would rather be in the main house, but I'm here because you want some bull, right? So Kyle is saying how the Redemption house is driving him crazy and, you know, he doesn't know what to do with himself. And then he looks over at Paulie and he says, I can only imagine how you feel because you've been here for so long. And that triggers the shit out of Paulie. Because the next thing out of his mouth is, I mean, at this point, I wish I would have came into this game single so that I could have at least had sex with Cara, so I would at least be in here for a reason. That pissed Kyle off. So Kyle's like, no, you shouldn't even got involved in our little thing that we had going on. And so then Paulie's like, well, honestly, from me on the outside looking in, it looked like you didn't even care about that girl. So it looked to me like it wasn't even a thing for me to get involved in. And so then Brad jumps in and he's like, yeah, man, when I saw you making out with Faith by the pool, I thought you didn't care about Cara. But I see I was wrong. You clearly do still have feelings for her. Tensions are high at this point, okay? They're going back and forth, and then Kyle says he regrets nothing, and that is the icing on the cake for Paulie, because at that point Kyle is saying he does not regret putting Paulie in the redemption house behind that petty bullcrap, right? So Paulie is like, okay, cool, you have no regrets, cool, no problem. At this point, I'm ready to put hands on you and Zach. What's up? And so Kyle is like, well, whatever. If you want to fight, let's do it. If you want to get into an elimination, let's do it. Either way, what's up? So now they're up in each other's faces, and they're damn near in a fighting stance with Brad in the middle, and I'm just like, y'all throwing hands or not? Like, what's up, right? So Brad takes Kyle outside, and he starts to calm down his partner and gets his head back in the game and lets him know, like, yo, we're here for a bigger picture. This fight ain't it. We're here for something far greater than that. So he gets Kyle together, and then Kyle calms down and they go back into the house. Back at the main house, me and Nelson are in my room having a conversation. And in my confessional, you hear me say, oh, Nelson decides to finally come and have a conversation with me, right? Finally, you decide to sit down and try to get to know me and who I am. After all this time, you decide you want to come and talk to me. How convenient that this conversation happens the night before you need my help. You decide you want to finally come talk to me, right? So in this conversation, we realized we both grew up in Inglewood. We went to the same elementary, same junior high, same high school, and grew up damn near down the street from each other. And our paths never crossed. Like, we never were a part of the same circles. Our paths never crossed. And I thought that was a little crazy, but that's what happened. So in this conversation, we don't talk game. We literally just talk about our past and how we grew up and our neighborhood. And we talk about acting and different things like that, but never about games. So at the ass end of the conversation, he makes it a point to let me know, I got you in this game, especially knowing where you come from. We come from the same places, so we have to stick together so we can let people from our neighborhood know that once you get out of the hood, you can do this and you can do that and look at us. Da, 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 da. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, right. You got it. We come from the same schools. We come from the same neighborhood. Yeah, let's work together. I said, but in that, let me also let you know it's going to be a problem because you're attached to the helmet. And that's a problem in itself. So I'll help you out. We can be good. We can look out for each other. But you being attached to the helmet is almost equivalent to you having the plague. That's a problem. So that's how we walk away from that conversation. Now you see a conversation happening between me, Jose, and Bananas upstairs on the couch, right? So let me back it up for a second. Johnny would always take showers in me, Cara, and Jose's bathroom. And that became me and Johnny's meeting place to talk game, okay? There was this curtain that divided the bathroom from the rest of the house. So when Johnny would come and take his showers, I would come into the bathroom, close that curtain, pretend I was doing hair, pretend I was doing makeup, whatever the case may be. I would close that curtain. There were no cameras. There were no people. There was nothing. It was just space and opportunity for us to freely be able to talk about this game, right? So in this last conversation that I had with Johnny, I let him know that it was time for me and Jose to start picking a side. It was time for us to really start getting into this game and starting to play. The floating shit is out. It's time to start making a move, right? Taking a stance. This is where we're going to be and this is how we're going to play, right? So what led to that conversation was Jose came and told me, okay, remember I told you guys that after challenges, we were allowed to go to the club that night. So at the club that night, apparently Nelson and Hunter came up to Jose and was like, listen, if it's not Johnny and Tony, it's you and Davon, period. So now you need to take your pick. What you want to do? And so Jose was like, okay. And so then after that, Hunter came up to Jose by himself and was like, listen, right now, we're running this house. We have the numbers. It's in our favor. You have no choice but to do what we're telling you to do. And if you decide you don't want to listen to us and you don't want to do what we're telling you to do, then just know we're coming after you. And so I'm what? You know, when Jose bring that shit to me, I'm like, huh? You know, this is the second time Hunter has went out of his way to try to punk and intimidate my team. So now I have a problem. Now I'm upset. Like, stop trying to punk us into doing what you want us to do in this house. You cannot intimidate me and my partner to vote the way you want us to vote. We don't operate like that. We don't roll like that. So stop trying to do it, you know? And Hunter didn't even realize in that moment he chose a side for us. Bright ass. Now that was just strike one. Okay, go ahead, take a sip of your tea, because this one right here, this really about to mess you up. I'm sitting at this table by myself, minding my own business, not bothering nobody, right? The helmet, yes, you heard me, the helmet walks up to me and goes, listen, my partner trusts you, but I still don't. So this is what we're going to do. You have until morning to convince me of why I should give you my trust and why I should trust you in this game. And if you don't convince me, then we're all going to send you in. That's how this is going to work. So I'm going to get up in the morning bright and early, and I'm going to wake you up, and we're going to have a conversation. And in that conversation, you will have the opportunity to convince me of why I should trust you in this game. Sweetie, honey, darling. Listen, I don't know if it's time to retire that helmet because it has officially began to cut off the circulation to your brain or whatever the case may be. But no, this ain't it. This is not, I'm going to give you until morning and you have then to convince me of why I should trust you and get your old ass up out of my face. No, I'm not going to convince you of anything. Get you and your punk ass helmet gone somewhere and sit down. I ain't convincing shit. How about that? I'm going to wake you up early in the morning. I wish you would. I wish you would disturb my slumber to come and talk to me and tell me why I need to convince you to. I wish you would wake me up at crack of dawn o'clock because you want to have a conversation. You did that shit last time and I almost knocked your punk ass helmet all the way back to America. Try it if you want. I dare you come wake me up out of my sleep to convince you of anything. These people really be trying it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but they really, really love to push the button. Stop. Don't push my button. Because if you push the right one, shit's going to get real fast. Like, stop. Listen, they talk all this shit about Johnny, but I'm going to be straight up honest with you. If he was using me and Jose, then they need to sit their ass down and take notes because he did the shit the right way. Nothing about their side makes me say, ooh, I want to work with you guys. Nothing about the way you guys are playing this game. Nothing about the way you guys are conducting yourselves. And damn sure nothing about the way you guys are getting at me and my partner makes me say, yep, that's the side to be on. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all really need to listen. Listen. Woo, shit. So this night I also learned Cara, Zach, and Johnny all wanted to run a final against me and Jose, right? They all believed we were a layup team and that they could run a final with us and it would be easier for them to get to the million. No problem. If that's how you feel, cool, whatever. All I hear is you taking us to the final. If you really believe in your heart that I'm going to be that close to $1 million and just hand it to you, you're crazy. But whatever you have to do to convince yourself to take us to that final, I'm with it. So yeah, we weak, we trash, garbage, all that. Yeah, that's us. Like, yes, take us. Yes, absolutely. You know, so with that, I had to really sit back and have a conversation with myself. All the bullshit that went on with Nelson and Hunter and with the helmet, and then finding out that these teams wanted to take us to a final. Okay, it's time to start making moves. Because I know not one soul on that other side is trying to take me and Jose to a final. I don't give a damn how much of a weak team they think we are. None of them are trying to take us to the end. So let's start to make these moves, right? I also came to the understanding that as long as Johnny is in this house and he realizes that I'm on his team and I do have his back, one, when he wins, that's a shield of protection. And two, when he loses, that's a target in front of me and Jose. So I have to be smart with this thing. So now getting back to this couch conversation between me, Jose, and Bananas, we're filling Jose in on what me and Bananas have already talked about, right? So we're getting everybody on board. Now, at this time, the conversation was we were going to put our votes on Nelson and his partner, okay? The sequence of events in which it was shown in the show are out of order. That conversation late night between Tony, Cara, and Bananas happened after we had our conversation, because during our conversation the target was Nelson and his partner, but when they had that conversation it later switched over to Ashley and Hunter. So anyway, we're having this conversation and I'm telling him like, yeah, you know, Nelson wants to work with me. So I'm going to just go ahead and pick his brain and see what the hell he talking about. And I tell Johnny, I'm like, look, I'm sticking my neck out right now. So I'm going to come to you. And when we discuss, we discuss. But as I'm coming to you, you need to make sure you come to me too. Like this won't be one-sided. I'm very tight-lipped. As you see, I ain't told nobody nothing. So whatever I bring something to you, you bring it to me. And he did his part. There was shit that Johnny pulled me to the side and was like, look, you need to know this, 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 and this. So he did it too. So when Johnny walks away, you know, I turn to Jose and I'm like, look, you know, we just made a deal with the devil, right? Because watching this show, you know, Johnny is somebody who cannot be trusted unless you're in his like circle for real. Like unless you're like a Leroy or something like that. You can't trust Johnny in this game. But in the situation that we're in this season, okay, we don't have a choice. We got to pick a side. And right now, this side seems to favor us way more than that other side. So time to hop on board. Outside, Zach, Tony, and Joss are having a conversation, right? And, you know, Zach is just talking to Tony, and Tony is talking about how tomorrow is going to be savage and how the lights are going to come up and everything's going to be crazy, this, that, and the third. And so Amanda overhears this conversation happening, and she busts out, and she's like, not on my watch. She went outside and was like, your ass on the way from my partner. We're not doing that. Not today, right? So she's trying to tell Zach that this is Tony's agenda. This is what he does. He's trying to get into Zach's ear in order to get Zach to do whatever Tony wants him to do. And so now Zach and Amanda are going at it because Zach is trying to let her know, listen, Tony will never say our names. Tony's not going to put us in. And she's like, yes, he will. He did it to his idol. He put Bananas in and he went in against Devin and he lost. So yes, he would do that to you. Are you crazy? Blah, 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 blah. So now they're going at it. Banana overhears it. So Bananas is involved in the conversation. So now all three of them are just having this conversation and it's a mess, right? So it's the next morning and no, I was not woke up by an old man in a helmet standing over me trying to have a conversation. Know that. But I did wake up to Nelson and Hunter outside arguing. Oh yeah, they outside arguing and I hear everybody running around here playing this game scary. Y'all playing like little bitches. Stop being a little bitch, man. Do what you said you was gonna do. If not, forget it. I'll do it by myself because I ain't scared of nobody. This is Nelson, okay? Nelson is talking to Hunter and this is what he's saying. So after they finish going at it, he comes into my room and he goes, you know what, Davon? Do whatever you need to do for you and your partner. Forget the plan. My people running around here playing scary. People not holding down their word and doing what they said they were going to do. So at this point, just do whatever you feel you need to do for you and your partner. When he said that, I said, oh, okay. And I let his ass walk off. I didn't try to stop. I didn't want no questions. Nothing. Go on about your business. Because now our agreement is I'm going to do what I need to do for me and my partner. That's it, right? 20 minutes later, y'all, he comes up to me and he's like, all right, we got it all figured out. Everybody is on one accord. You know, we're going to stick to the plan. Everybody is throwing their votes at Johnny and Tony. And I'm like, nope. I said, your people are messy. Your people are not on one accord. I'm not about to jump on your boat and do what you're telling me to do. And then y'all all jump ship. We ain't doing that. No, we're not doing that. And he's like, Davon, just stick to the plan. I promise. We got it. So as he's saying that, he's walking away. I never gave him an answer that time because our last conversation was that I was supposed to do what I had to do for me and my partner. And I wanted to leave it at that. I wanted that to be our last conversation. So I made it a point never to tell him, okay, we're good. I made sure to never say those words when he came back to me. I found a way to get out of that damn agreement we made. And once I got out of it, I was not going back in it. So no, our last conversation was that I was supposed to do what would be beneficial to me and my partner, right? So I'm in the bathroom doing my hair and then Cara comes into the bathroom and she's visibly pissed the hell off. And I'm like, Cara, what's wrong with you? And she's like, man, my partner may have just ruined everything. She might have just blown up our entire plan. I'm like, what are you talking about? And that's when she proceeded to tell me that Marie was upstairs and Marie told Ashley, like, we have a plan and we're all going to throw our votes on you. And I'm like, huh? because the we she spoke of included me. And so I'm like, I know damn well Marie didn't just do that. I'm out of the loop when it came to the Marie thing, okay? I didn't know that she was in the process of executing this master plan that she had come with. I didn't know shit about none of that. All I knew is she went back and told Ashley and Hunter that all of our votes were going to go in their direction. And I did not need for Ashley and the rest of those girls to link up and decide that they wanted to put all of their votes on me and Jose, since we were getting the power vote anyway. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't need them to come up with that plan. So I needed to run over and go talk to Ashley because I had to do damage control so I can save me and my partner. That's why in her confessional, she's like, I'm surprised Davon came and talked game to me. Yes, I had no reason to. Before that shit with Marie, I had no reason to go talk to Ashley. But now I'm in a situation where I have to make sure I can save me and my partner. I go up to Ashley and I'm like, look, I don't know what the hell Marie talking about. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing that I don't know about no plan. I don't know shit. I don't know a damn thing, right? I don't know nothing. Don't include me and my partner, none of that shit. So I tell Ashley, I'm like, look, as long as you and your partner have never thrown votes at me and my partner, you have nothing to worry about, okay? And I tell her that because I already knew her and Hunter had threw votes at me and Jose. It was already confirmed, right? So I made sure to say this before I said anything else so that later on, when we actually did vote for them, I wouldn't look like a liar. Because the truth of the matter is, y'all did throw votes at us. So you should be worried, right? So I tell her, I'm like, look, me and my partner need to be protected. Don't ask us to do something for you guys if you guys are not going to protect us. We have to trust that you guys are going to have our back. And then I went back and said it again. As long as y'all have never come for us, you have nothing to worry about in regards to us coming for you. I made sure to continue to say that. She said, cool, let's hug it out. We hugged it out. I walked off. Jose is upstairs working out and I'm watching as usual. Nelson comes up and he's trying to confirm that we're going to be on board with throwing a vote at Johnny and Tony, right? So I say, Nelson, let me ask you something, like straight up. So if we do you this favor and we put our vote on Johnny and Tony and they end up going to the redemption house, are me and my partner next on your list? He looked me right in my face and said, yep. I said, so you're telling me after we do this favor for you, we're next? He like, I mean, I got to keep it honest with you. That's just how it's going to work out. Y'all. Oh, shit. In this moment, I knew these people, great competitors, great athletes. That's it. That is it. That is the extent of it. Like gameplay, strategy, it's not there. It's not there. How do you look somebody in their face and tell them, I need you to do me this solid, but after you do it, be expecting me to come for you? Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? Like, no. What? No. Oh my gosh, these people, they suck. He didn't even try to be like, I mean, I'll try to protect you guys the best I can, but if they want you guys, there's really nothing I can do. He didn't even, none of that. He didn't even try to say, oh, well, you know, it ain't me, you know, but if my allies want you, nothing. He just looked me in my face and was like, yep. Like, what? What is wrong with y'all? That's why they don't like us, because we think. They don't at all, clearly. So now it's time for noms. Everyone goes in and casts their vote of who they want to send into elimination, right? So it's Ashley and Hunter's turn to go in. They come out and they have this huge ass fight. They're arguing, yelling at each other, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I look at Jose look at me. I'm like, what the hell is that about? They're arguing, like going at it, right? So now it's time for me and Jose to go in and cast our vote. We go in. We understand that with this vote, it's time to pick a side. We're at that point in the game. The line has been drawn, and it's time to decide which side of that line we're going to stand on, right? So with this vote, I know that it's going to do two things. One, it's going to show Johnny and Tony that we can be trusted and we are loyal. And it's also going to show the other side, hey, you cannot punk and intimidate me and my partner. So stop. So noms are over. Nelson comes up to me and Jose to find out how we voted, right? He walks up to us and he goes, so what happened in there? And I go, your team, your side clearly was not on one accord. What was up with that fight between Ashley and Hunter? And he goes, oh, they staged that. It was a part of their plan to throw off the other side. What? What? What are we staging fights for? For what? What? Oh, they wanted them to think that we weren't all together and that there was a weak link in the... I'm like, y'all think y'all stupid. Shit. Stop, idiots. What are you doing? So at this point, Jose is over it. I mean, done. Completely over it. So he tells Nelson straight up, listen, we voted for Ashley and Hunter. Period. That's it. That's all, right? So Nelson is upset. He's pissed off. He takes that bone. He runs it downstairs to his alliance members. And now the house is in an uproar. So we get to Armageddon and we see the elimination challenge. Two big ass ropes with all these medallions hanging from them. All right, cool, no problem. Time to light up the city. The lights come up, we see is a tie. We got a tie between Ashley and Hunter and Johnny and Tony. So far, the plan is working out the way we said it would, right? So far. So because it's a tie, Zach and Amanda get to break the tie. And for once, they can't say Jose and Dayvon because our lights didn't even come up. We ain't even in this tie. We ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Our lights is off. We ain't pay our bill this month. It's done, right? We good. So here's the dilemma. Ashley and Amanda are cool, and then Zach and Tony are cool. So what do you do when half of your team is cool with one side of the house, and then the other half of your team is cool with the other side of the house? Like, how do you choose, right? So TJ was like, you have 10 seconds to decide. Otherwise, you guys are going to be playing in tonight's elimination. And so Amanda was like, we're picking Johnny and Tony. That's it. That's all. I'm not budging. And then Zach was like, no, we're not. That's not what we're going to do. And so then Amanda was like, that's it. That's my final answer. So Zach was like, all right, cool. So then y'all, he stomped his ass down there next to TJ. I said, I know he didn't. I said, I know the fuck he did not. No, he did not just do that. Because in doing that, that means you're going to have to pick somebody to go up against. And since the only names you know all season, the only names that you have known have been me and my partners. So that means you guys are going to choose us, which lets me know that all of this work that I put in this week was for nothing. I said, you better stomp your ass back on up here to this platform and stop playing, Zach. So TJ tells them since no one voted for them, they get to pick any one of the teams to go up against. At this point, I look at Jose look at me. We both say, fuck it. And we're ready to go into battle, right? We're ready to go. Now, because we voted for Ashley and Hunter, that showed Zach that we had finally chosen a side and that we could be loyal and we could be trusted because we did exactly what we said we were going to do. And so that showed him also that we were rocking with Johnny and Tony, right? So Zach and Amanda go off to the side to go deliberate and discuss which team they want to go up against in elimination. And the first name Zach says is Joss and Sylvia. Boom. All right, Zach, I see you. I see you. And so Amanda's like, no, why would we do that? No. So if you're going to say Joss and Sylvia, fine. I'm going to say Cara and Marie. And so I'm like, hey, at least ain't either one of them say Dayvon and Jose, right? So then they couldn't agree on one of those two teams. So then finally Amanda was like, okay, forget it. We're just going to go with Jose and Dayvon. All right, cool. So now at this point, I'm pissed off. I've shown my loyalty. I've shown that I can be trusted. And I picked a side. I stuck my neck out. I did all of this shit this week. And here I am still having to go in elimination. I'm done. I'm pissed. But you know what? Zach and Amanda have been campaigning for this ass whooping since the moment we landed in South Africa. Let's go. So we're all lined up next to TJ, and he's asking everybody how they feel about having to be in tonight's elimination. And I'm trying my hardest not to say anything. I'm trying to be real quiet because my whoop your ass meter is at its highest level right now. So I'm trying not to say nothing to nobody. I just want to stand in the corner until y'all done with this little raggedy ass interview so we can go ahead and compete. That's all I want to do, right? So I'm in the corner trying to hide from TJ so he don't ask me anything. And the next thing I know, he goes, Dayvon, how do you feel? And y'all, when he asked me that, everything just came to a head. Like everything. All the way back to the very first challenge. Us coming out that coffin and Zach and Amanda sending us to the redemption house. Everything up until now being sent back and forth into the redemption house. Constantly having to prove ourselves. This little clicky ass shit that these people got going on. Arguing with the helmet. Like everything just came to a front. And I'm like, ooh. It was like a volcano, and it was time to finally erupt. And when I say it was time to erupt, y'all, I lost it. I was done. Y'all, I kid you not. With the exception of Nelson, Tony, Bananas, Cara, Marie, my partner, and Zach, I cussed out everybody else. I cussed out everybody else on the cast that was out there. So go ahead, take a sip of your tea and brace yourself, because I'm about to tell you the shit that they did not show you from that night. Okay, so you guys saw me check Ashley and shut her up. Then you saw me right behind that check Hunter and shut him up. But it didn't stop there, okay? Right before I gave that huge F y'all to everybody, I went down the road. Everybody on that cast, with the exception of the people I told y'all. And I said, F you, F you, F you. I'm giving them all the finger as I'm saying. I'm looking them all in their eyes too as I'm going down the road. F you, F you, F you. I'm giving it to all of them. And then finally I was like, F all y'all. I was done, right? So as I'm doing this, Amanda decides she wants to say something slick. And so when she said that, I reached over and put my hand in her face and I said, and you shut the fuck up, because I've been waiting on your ass. So as I'm saying that to her, Joss decides he wants to jump down there and try to check me for saying something to Amanda. And I'm like, oh yeah, now you want to defend her? Cool, I'm glad you said something, because I got something for your ass too. Best believe he got checked next. So when he comes down there, he says, oh, does everything with you have to be so 8 Mile? Now correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't 8 Mile like the projects, the ghetto-ish type of area? Am I right or am I wrong? Like, let me know, comment below and let me know if I'm tripping or not. But it goes even further than that. After he calls me 8 Mile, after he does that, he puts his hand on his hip, rolls his neck in a circle, snaps his finger, roll his eyes and go, girlfriend. You tell me how the fuck you would have taken that. How would you have taken that if somebody would have called you 8 Mile and then turned around and did that right behind that? Oh yeah, needless to say, he got called a pack of bitches right behind that. But I went even further than that. So on the way to Armageddon, I rode on the boys bus with Jose just so we can kind of have a conversation about how tonight's elimination might go. We always rode together to elimination so that we could be on one accord and just kind of feel each other's energy just in case we had to go in to compete, right? So I'm on the bus with them and Joss gets on the bus. When he gets on the bus, he goes, I'm so disgusted by her. She's not attractive. She reminds me of a little boy. Oh, yeah? So you better believe when he hopped his ass down and tried to say that shit about 8 Mile, trying to defend her. Damn right, I sure did. I said, oh, yeah? Is that why you said you're not attracted to her? She disgusts you and she reminds you of a little boy? Shook! Everybody was shook. Now, after I said that, I looked over at Amanda and the look on her face made me feel so bad because my goal was to check him. Like, don't come out here and act like you have her back and you just riding for her like that when you literally was just talking shit about her. But the look on her face, oh my gosh, you can tell she was hurt. And that wasn't the goal. I wasn't trying to hurt her. So I did feel bad about that. But quickly I had to snap right back into attack mode because Ashley yells out, aren't you a mom? You need to act like a mom. Wow, you need to act like a mom. I said, and bitch, aren't you raising a pig? You need to act like that. Child, everybody started cracking up. Honey, it went down that night. Oh, it was lit. It went down because I was done. I was done with the click shit. I was done with the you can't sit with us bullshit. I was done with all of that. I didn't come on this show to make any friends. I don't want to be none of y'all friends. I don't like half of y'all in this cast. So I'm not interested in being any of your friends. I came here to make allies. And when I say allies, I mean people who I can play this game with. I don't mean I came in here to make friends and we work together. No, I came to make allies to be able to progress in this game. And you guys let me know that that was not up for discussion. I could not be an ally to any of y'all. And don't try to say that y'all tried to talk to me. No, you didn't. You only wanted to talk to me when you needed me. Any other conversation was not happening. So get the hell out of here. I was done. I was coming for everybody's neck. Nobody was off limits. So TJ calms everything down and then he lets us know that we're going up against Corey and Devin. Now at this point, the shit is laughable. Like I can't even be mad anymore. Like the shit is laughable. With the storyline that has been created, I am sure the viewers were waiting for the opportunity for me and Jose to go up against Zach and Amanda. And you mean to tell me you're going to crash that with Corey and Devin? What the hell is going on? So a lot of you guys were asking what the equalizer was for this challenge. And what I was told was that on Devin and Corey's side, all of their medallions were tied twice. On our side, we had one tied twice, one tied once, one tied twice, one tied once. And that was the pattern from one side of the rope all the way to the other. This is what I was told, right? So that's why me, Jose, Zach, and Amanda all had to stay on this side on this particular rope because this is where the equalizer was. This is what I was told, okay? So Zach and Amanda are up first, right? They go in and immediately Zach gets hit in the face with one of the medallions. And when he gets hit in the face, I'm like, yo, he's bleeding. And they're like, oh no, it's sweat. I said, no, that's blood. He's bleeding in his face. So he looks at it. He sees that he's bleeding, but he keeps going. And then he keeps getting beat up because when he would jump on the rope and fall down and let the thing snap up, when the rope would snap up and come back down, it hit him in his face again. So that's how he kept getting beat up in the face, right? So this was hard to watch because every time he went down there, his face got bloodier and bloodier and bloodier, but he never gave up. Like he kept going. Like it was... oh my gosh, it was so hard to watch because he was really over there getting beat the hell up, right? At this point, they have a huge lead in front of Devin and Corey. Huge, right? And now it's down to Amanda. She has this one medallion, and if she can knock out this one medallion, then Corey and Devin are going to the redemption house because the rule is they have to beat both teams, right? Y'all, this medallion would not fall. I don't give a damn what she did, with different ways she tried to get it down, it would not fall. And Zach couldn't switch sides with her, so she had to do it all by herself, and it wasn't happening. So in the time that she was trying to knock out this one medallion, Corey and Devin finally got their last one down, and they won the round. So this means they took out one team, but now they still have to go against me and Jose. So now going into this second round, Corey and Devin have found their groove. They found their rhythm. They know what to do in order to knock these medallions down, right? So, all right, me and Jose are like, you know what? Just jump on this damn thing and knock them down as fast as we can. We just have to be faster than them, period. Jump down, give it all your might. Let the snap-up effect of the rope be as hard as it can be so these medallions can pop off, and let's just do it. So we go in, we jumping and falling all over the place. Y'all, I'm having fun because I feel like a little kid, like on a jungle gym or something. I'm running, jumping, yelling and screaming. Jose on the other end yelling, it's Sparta. He jumping, he yelling. I'm American Ninja Warrior. I'm doing all type of shit, right? We knocking these medallions down. It comes down to this last one. I tell Jose, I'm not about to do what Amanda did. I said, shimmy across this rope, come put your weight down here, and then I'm going to jump onto the rope, and we're going to let it snap up in the air and see if it fall back. At this point, Jose was gassed out. So he's like, I can't do it, partner. I can't shimmy over there. Like, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I said, okay, it's on me. No problem. So, y'all, I am jumping. I jumped on this damn rope about 10 times, going back and forth, back and forth. And as I'm doing this, Corey and Devin still had like 3 medallions left to our 1. Okay, so I'm trying to knock this one medallion down. It's not working. I hear Tony yell out, Davon, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. So I went, I got down and I went to go jump down on the rope. And when I did it, I took my hand and I grabbed the medallion and tried to snatch it down with me. Ended up cutting my hand, but it still did not come down. So I'm like, what the hell is up with this damn medallion? So in the time that I'm trying to knock this one down, Corey and Devin knock down the rest of their medallions and they win the round, which means they get to go into the main house, and that sends me, Jose, Zach, and Amanda all to the redemption house. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how this episode ends. Y'all, that elimination round was so tough mentally, not even because of the challenge itself. It had nothing to do with the challenge. It was the fact that we had Johnny and Tony out there rooting for us because they needed us to come back into the house. They were depending on us because they couldn't have Corey and Devin come in there, right? And then you had Cara ass yelling at me and telling me damn near tears in her eyes that she couldn't afford to lose me and she needed me to come back into this house because she needed me. Like, it was just so much, y'all. It was a lot. Before I left, I ran over and hugged Cara. I hugged her so tight, like as if like this was it for me. Like, I hugged her so tight, right? And I was like, listen, you are a competitor. This is your game. Stop letting them girls get under your skin. They don't matter. You're not here for none of them. You're here to win this coin. Go out there and compete like the competitor I know you are. And then I told her, I said, and as far as Marie, she all you got. Y'all are one in this game. So it's okay to let her take the lead sometimes. Trust her. That's the only way y'all gonna make it, is if y'all trust each other. I hugged Marie, I hugged Tony, I hugged Johnny, and I dipped. I was done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this recap. If you liked this video, make sure you like this video. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You understand what I'm saying? And click that bell so you can get these notifications for when these videos come out. Y'all, I'm about to go take me some medicine, drink me some tea, and lay my butt down because I am tired and I do not feel good. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with me the way you do. Until our next video, inhale positive energy. Exhale the bullshit. Raise your glass and have a sip.
Tell them I'm on my way. On my way, on my way, on my way. I'm on my way, on my way.